Hi, Taurus. Hope you're doing well. Um, I am not going to have a separate intro to the, excuse me, January 2025 and year ahead horoscope for you guys. I'm going to jump straight into it, and and especially for you because yours took a a long time. There is, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot going on with you, and it's pretty powerful. So first, I'm showing you here the 2025 primary transits, ingresses, and retrogrades. But um, yours is different from the other signs because, like I said, yours is a little unique, and there's a lot of powerful stuff going on. So other signs will not see as detailed planetary alignments for the year. So please do go ahead and take a snapshot of a screenshot of these dates so that you can match them to your natal chart and see where these degrees hit your natal chart. I'm just going to scroll fast up so that you can take a screenshot and then you can look at them at your leisure. And we have August, and then September, October, November, and December. And then I have, what do I have? Direct and retrograde dates for Mars in Cancer and Leo, because that is the main story starting off in the year. We have the three Mercury retrograde periods in 2025. And then, as you can see, I have you highlighted. So this is your planet Venus retrogrades for 2025. Those will affect you because you are ruled by Venus. And then we have the nodal axes switching signs. So, yeah, we're going to jump straight into it. So, let me change the screen. Hi, Taurus. Hope you had a great Christmas and happy holidays. And I hope for you a very joyous and beneficial new year. So, your horoscope, wow, your horoscope was the hardest to do because there is so much going on for you. And there will be even more stuff going on with you and powerful events. But let me first start off by giving you the theme for 2025. 2025 will start out with a very very recent present, a past slash present. Then we will be thrust into the future, and the latter half of the year we will be revisiting the past. Having said that, the let's start off with this new moon in Capricorn on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. And for you, Capricorn is your ninth house of foreigners, higher education, long distance traveling, the World Wide Web, and publishing. So you've got a taste of all of that in the last 18 years. And but when Pluto was transversing what we call the critical 29th degree of Capricorn between September and December, the finale was kind of dramatic to say the least. We had Mars in Cancer opposed. It was a powerful opposition to Pluto in Capricorn. So you had a very heated discussion, argument, dare I say, fight for some of you, or it could have been an exciting discussion regarding this House of Foreigners and higher education for you. And that kicked up a firestorm, sort of to speak, um, because, like I said, for you, it entangled so much more. It entangled a partnership, it entangled family, money, joint finances, um, love, children or creativity, siblings, and everything was in the mix for you. Okay. But we saw in December something of a compromise, more discussions, and hopefully some kind of, if not resolution, but a new way forward to go about this finale of your House of Foreigners and higher education, or your seeding, hoping for something of that on this new moon in Capricorn. Now, the ruler of Capricorn is Saturn, and Saturn currently is in your house of friends, groups, circles, and associations. So if you did not feel this directly, you probably experienced it with a friend um, or within a group. But like I said, because it entangled so much more for you, uh, this this may have felt like a me versus them situation, or an us versus them situation, and you just didn't know where you were within this dynamic. In any case, that is the new moon, and hopefully we'll have some new way going forward. But the discussions we had, or you had, will be revisited again um, in February and March. And April. There is something there, that discussion that took place is important. That is why Mars is going back and forth here, and also family is involved. Mars will also do more heat and action in your family house. Now, whatever happened for some Taurians, there was some kind of a celebration or a surprise, or again uh, an opposition uh, that happened in December. Uh, that was during when Mars was in Leo retrograde. So, whatever action that was performed in December, you will see some kind of a reversal of that when Mars goes direct in Leo in March, April. Okay, so just take a note of that. Now, for you, Taurus in general is all about money, money, money. um, Taurus is the bull, and we you can think of that bronze bull facing off with a little girl in front of this New York Stock Exchange. You are all about money security, and because you had those discussions in November and December, that is on your the front of mind for you. We also had Pluto enter Aquarius, excuse me, which is your 10th house of career, status, reputation, and authority figures. So you will have uh, an enlightening vision, a forward, futuristic thinking about your career and status. Pluto went into Aquarius, like if I didn't mention that, on November 19th. Um, and that's all really I'm going to say about Pluto and Aquarius, because I have finished a dedicated video for each sign for Pluto and Aquarius, and I do take you 5 years into the future with Pluto and Aquarius, the major themes, so you can get a flavor of that, because it is a 20-year journey, and Pluto moves really slow. So I think we're only at 1 degree of Aquarius so far. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time regarding Pluto and Aquarius. Like I said, there's a dedicated video that I chose not to upload yet, because I wanted to do your year ahead first. Okay. Now let's continue with what's going on in January, besides this new moon and Mars and all that. January 11th, we will see the nodal axes shift from uh, Aries and Libra into Pisces and Virgo. So there were, for the past 18 months, 2 years, you've had a repetitive situation between your house of secrets and the past and faith, and something about your house of busyness, scheduling, routines, and health. And there was an opposition here. And because Libra rules partnerships, this could have played out in a way that you have been overwhelmed with a routine or a scheduling or a health issue uh, that was in opposition of how you wanted your daily routine to be, or because you were researching something about your faith or the past, or if you were doing something in secret or behind the scenes, that was interfering with your regular daily scheduling. Whatever that was. And the other thing is, because you have so much on your plate, you've been overwhelmed with this daily routine and scheduling, and you've learned after these 18 months, 2 years, to delegate that to others, maybe a family member, maybe your partner, um, uh, maybe to an assistant of some sort. But there was also an opposition there. And that could have manifested, because Libra rules relationships, it could have manifested where you try to have your partner take a little bit off your plate or try to help you, and your partner was wanting freedom from that, or acting more of an an individual in a partnership. You felt that maybe your partner wasn't pitching in. Or if you had somebody else helping you with these delegations, that person as well had other duties that was not or is not there for you all the time to help you with this routine and schedule. Or you could have been a new parent, and that's why you've had this tension between your daily routine and your alone time. You just couldn't get your alone time that you wanted. In any case, that comes to an end, yay, around January 11th, when the North Node and the South Node will leave Aries and Libra and enter Pisces and Virgo. And that repetitive situation, like I said, with your House of Secrets and your daily routine, will end either because you are leaving a partnership, um, or if you're solid as a rock, then something about this codependency or this neediness will end, and everyone will have their freedom and individuality. It'll feel much better. Maybe you come to a conclusion that you'll have your girls' night out, or guys' night out, and and parents will help, something of that nature. Now, when the nodal axes go into Pisces and Virgo, the North Node will go into Pisces and the South Node will go into Virgo. Pisces for you is your 11th house of groups, friends, associations, circles. It could be the gym, it could be a charity, whatever it is. It also encompasses your hopes, visions, and dreams of the future. And Virgo for you is your 5th house of love, romance, children, creativity, and pets. And it can also include gambling. So we'll see an opposition between these two areas of your life um, for the next 2 years, 18 months. And please don't get me wrong. I mean, it will not be, it won't be necessarily a bad thing, but it will be some kind of challenge for you to overcome, but it will be something repetitive. Okay. Maybe it is something of a friend who becomes like a lover, maybe, or a romance. And and they either want to stay as a friend and not a lover, or vice versa, or something like that. It can play in that kind of opposition. Or if you are a new parent, or you will be a new parent, it might consist of you not being able to do what your friends are doing because of a child situation, uh, because you're a new parent. Or it could be something with a grown-up child that maybe comes back, and your hopes and visions of the future for them is not what you wanted, and it could manifest that. It can be a lot of things, but suffice it to say, uh, what you've been dealing with partnerships, codependency, and individuality, that'll end, and then you will start this new cycle of friends and romance or children. So that kicks off the future in January. And also, major shift will come when Neptune leaves Aries. It's been there for 14 years, and will enter Aries. Pisces is your 11th house of friends, groups, and circles. And the last 14 years, your friends and groups has been a vacation for you. You've really enjoyed that, with some troubles there where they might have taken advantage of your good nature, and boundaries were stepped over. Um, and the last 2 years, when Saturn came into Pisces, it started helping you put up those boundaries between you and friends, and pulling you back from uh, the sea that you were getting lost in regards with a friend or friends. And Neptune will leave your friendship house, where you will see friends and groups more pragmatic, more practical, and it will enter Aries. When it enters Aries, that is your 12th house of the past, behind the scenes, secrets, um, any kind of alcohol or drug um, use, any confining spaces, and also your need to be alone, your alone time. So that will feel very romantic for you. It will feel very dreamy. That's where your vacation will feel like, where you'll enjoy your time alone. You will start having more dreams, and you will be researching something about your faith. You will get into faith a lot more, or discard your faith. And then you will be revisiting the past, but it will be nostalgic where you'll idealize that. It'll be very dreamy, like I said. Neptune rules all that, the ocean, the Hollywood and music industries. It rules makeup and oil and alcohol and all that good stuff. And just as you're getting, and this, you could you might not feel it abruptly. It's a slow kind of procession, but you will start idealizing something about the past. You will have this vision of that, and just when you're getting to enjoy that and feeling like it's um, an escape for you, your alone time. Saturn, a few weeks later, I think like a month and a half later, will enter Aries as well. It'll leave Pisces and enter Aries, and the wake up calls, the reality comes in like a thump. Saturn wakes us up. Saturn entering Aries will make you realize that uh, this escape that you're doing by yourself or about the past and what have you, it'll start letting you know that there's dangers in that your partnership might suffer or your relationships with others might suffer or people will start questioning what's going on or again like I mentioned before, whatever you're delegating and escaping here will be like, hey, that's not what we signed up for you to go off and be in la la land while we're doing all this work for you. It's something like that. The reality checks will happen, um, and Saturn can manifest in people. It can be your parents. It could be an authority figure. It could be a professor. So there you go with the professor thing. If you're researching way too much, your professor might be like, waking you up to time realities and what have you, um, and all that. Then this is the big news for you, and this is why I did a special planetary lineup for you, is because Uranus is going to leave your sign, and it will enter Gemini. Now, before Uranus leaves your sign, there's a couple of shifts that happens before that, and of course Uranus will be transversing that critical 29th degree of Taurus before it enters Gemini. Excuse me. Now, for you, Taurus, there's two sets of Taurus a year. Uh, Uranus does a 7 year tour of each sign. So when Uranus first entered your sign, it could have been, and Uranus is the planet of shock and surprise um, and abruptness. So when it first entered your sign, one half of you could have immediately felt it. Something surprising or shocking about your image or about you happened, and it kept happening. And then the middle years could have been not as significant, but now the ending will be just as significant as it first entered your sign. The other camp is where when Uranus first entered Taurus, you might have just been like, oh, no, nothing really special happened. But you had a couple of surprises and shifts in the middle. And now when it exits your sign, it might be like, oh, well, nothing happened. um, it could be, you could be in one of those two camps. So we'll discuss about the camp that will have this, um, for lack of better words, this chaos that'll happen when Uranus will leave your sign. For many of you, in the past 7 years, who you thought you were or where you thought you were going, and your physical appearance or profile online even has kept abruptly shifting 180 degrees, another 180 degrees, and so on and so forth. And it has made you a completely different person. Some even where people from your past will not recognize you when they see you or when they've recently seen you. And for others, especially for women, it could have been pregnancies. That's it's a physical, transformation formation in its own in that way. And because of these shifts regarding you physically and as an individual, um, and because there were some partnership stuff going on, uh, some of you will be leaving a partnership. You will be ending a partnership or separating, maybe temporarily, because Uranus does go back in your sign at the end of the year. Um, so you might be separating or temporarily splitting, or it can be the finale, between you two. Now, if you guys are solid as a rock, again, you will both go forward with this new you. Maybe you're a new mother, or you're a new fiance, or husband or wife, or what have you. So I will be hitting on some. I will be going over again. I'm only doing it for you. I'll be going over some aspects to give you some clues, and of course, I do detailed monthly scopes. So we will be discussing those in the coming months also. Then the other thing I wanted to say about Uranus and Taurus is Taurus natally is the second house of job, income, value system, and money. So you have also experienced this feast or famine regarding your job and your money. Many of you have changed careers or jobs rather, and your income has fluctuated, or and and especially those in partnerships. Um, Surprising details have come up with money, um, and this is going to be coloring this ending, or this culmination or fruition of what Uranus has changed so much about you and your money. Okay. But good news, that doesn't completely end, because Uranus, once it leaves your sign, will go into Gemini. Yay! And Gemini is your second house of job, income, and value system. Like I said, many of you will start a new job, an exciting job, or your own business, or your current job will grow, or promotions, or your businesses will start exploding if you have started some kind of a business in the last year or so. Um, Gemini is the sign of the twins, so there will be some kind of duality. You might have a full time job, and might be setting up something else of an income stream that you will be doing simultaneously in the hopes of eventually leaving your job and doing that. So that might come um, into the play. And again, only for you. I have done the aspects of Uranus and Gemini because it is your money house and it is very important for you. Taurus and Taurus and Cancer are the rich signs. They're never poor. If you ask a Taurus about money, they always say they don't have it, and that's why they always have it. um, but yeah, you're good with money. You manage it well, because it's really important for you. Again, because you are so concerned about security and the future. So that is the big shift for you. Besides this Neptune and Saturn, that almost is dwarfed in comparison to this Uranus shift from your sign to your second house of Gemini. And then we will see, in the second half of the year, every planet going retrograde almost, and retrograding not only in these new areas of our life that we will be um, reorganizing, revisiting of how far along we've come, but it will retrograde all the way back into the previous signs. So Neptune and Saturn will retrograde from Aries back into Pisces. um, and Uranus in Gemini will not only retrograde in Gemini and the forward dipping of your toes in this job and income sector, but it will retrograde all the way back into your sign as well. Okay, so yeah, with these retrograde planets, we'll be revisiting um, the present, or the first few months of 2025, um, or what has been going on right now. Um, Pisces is the sign of compassion and faith, and the past. And so you will be revisiting something about friends, groups, and circles, or a particular friend, whatever is going on with this friend or group now and in the next few 2 months or so. And Saturn as well will retrograde from Aries back into Pisces, just to make sure you still have those boundaries. Because again, you are a very compassionate sign and very giving of your time and energy, and Saturn wants to make sure that you are not taken advantage of, or that you have, if you're dishing out some advice, that it's practical as well, and not too idealistic. And then Uranus goes back over the degrees of Gemini, and but goes all the way back into your sign. So for that sliver of Taurians that will be leaving a relationship that I mentioned, when I said it might be temporary, here is where the reconciliation is. You revisit that, and there might be some kind of resolution or healing or reconcilement, or a new way of going forward. Or if, again, if you're solid as a rock, and this forward movement that you've had, with these signs, shifting forward, you revisit, how fast you're going, and making sure that you're not going in separate directions. And it will involve something about your physical appearance as well as money. Okay, like I said, money is important to you because of security. So that'll happen during the latter half of the year. And again, I do detailed monthly scopes, so we will be going over in detail with those. But for you, I have in your planetary alignment, um, asterisk certain important retrograde periods. Okay, so we discussed Mars, we discussed the nodal axes, we discussed Neptune and Saturn and Uranus, and oh yes, Venus. That's what I wanted to just spend a little bit of time on that, because Venus is your ruler. So on January 2nd, Venus enters Pisces. That is your friendship house, and your hopes and visions of the future. And Venus, as you know, you're very used to her energy because she's your ruler. Venus does attract love, romance, money, fame, fortune. So you might be seeing that through friends or through a group, starting January 2nd. And then on February 4th, Venus will then enter Aries. And Aries is your 12th house of secrets and behind the scenes, and your alone time and faith. So you will, because you of your past efforts here, you might be manifesting uh, this love, fame, and fortune through, from the past and your efforts there. But why I did the Venus catalog in each sign is because it will also go retrograde. It usually doesn't go retrograde every year. But this year it'll start retrograde on March 1st. Venus will be retracing its step through Aries. And then on the 27th of March, it will back up all the way into Pisces. Now, uh, this period of time, if Venus attracts money, love, fame, and fortune, and all the good things in life, when it goes retrograde, it withholds those things or takes them back. Um, so with Venus especially, if anything regarding purchasing, um, uh, new things, during the Venus retrograde, just be careful of purchasing new things, of any irreversible physical altercations you might do, because Aries rules the image. Because when it goes forward, you are going to regret that new purchase, or you'll find that another place or store has it for half that price, or what have you. Or if you're getting a drastic haircut, or plastic surgery, or any dye things, you might hate it afterward, or you might have complications with that. So just during that Venus retrograde period, just be careful with any of that. Or regarding friendships, just be careful if there's, or groups, just be careful of the dynamics there. um, it might, friends might withdraw again from you, and that might hurt you. So uh, don't let it hurt you. Just remember it's a retrograde, because once Venus starts going forward on April 12th, it'll go forward in Pisces, in your group and friendship circle. They'll come around. And the reason that they might have withdrawn is because there's, like I said, there's this huge transformations that are going on. Well, it's not only happening to you, it's happening to everyone. So uh, you'll understand that. And then on April 30th, Venus will start going direct in Aries. And that is, again, your alone time. And you will be enjoying that, or anything regarding your appearance or image. And then on June 6th, yay, Venus will enter your sign. So you will be attracting all good stuff. Um, and especially, you will be looking and feeling very attractive, very rich, very outgoing, and all that good stuff. Um, uh, just regarding the Venus retrograde in Pisces with friends, you might have some fights or arguments that might happen. So just be aware of that. So that completes that. Now I'm going to go over um, January for you, because this is a January scope, and then I'll hit on the main things for Taurus throughout the year. So January 2nd, I already mentioned, Mars will be in Leo, your home and family sector, and it will oppose Pluto in Aquarius regarding your career, status, reputation, and authority figures. Um, Mars is the god of war. Mars only knows how to go forward. Anything that doesn't work, it drops like a hot potato, and it's like, let's go already. This is not going to work. Um, and and Pluto is the god of destruction and of the underworld and secrets. Um, Pluto says, "Okay, come at me." So this is a powerful opposition. We're already feeling it. It's an applying opposition. We're already feeling it during these last few days of December. Um, so just be aware of that. Now, Mars is retrograde in Leo, so um, in some cases it might not be as muted. It might be muted. So you'll understand that whatever this family situation or family member is going through, you will understand that the reason they can't go forward or what, because it's because they really do need some kind of help. Um, that's the realization. Um, and Leo is a proud sign, so there might be something about the ego or pride here. Okay, um, and in opposition to your career and status and your reputation, you might take it personally about your a family or a family member or your extended family nitpicking something about your reputation or your career and status. So just be aware of that. Now, I mentioned Venus enters Pisces in your friendship sector, so you might turn to a friend or a close circle of yours to help um, with this discussion or argument or this revelation between family and your career. On the third, Mercury in Sagittarius will quincunx Uranus and Taurus at 23 degrees. Now, Sagittarius is your house of shared joint finances, the mortgage, taxes, and inheritance and all that. So there's some kind of discussion because you've had this discussion because we've had Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. So you'll be revisiting that joint finances discussion or taxes. You guys might be talking about taxes and something surprising about you because Uranus is in Taurus, or it might be about your money, your job and income. On the 6th, Mars retrograde will leave Leo and enter Cancer, and it spends a long time here. So again, if you remember, Mars in Cancer and the Pluto Capricorn opposition in November, that's still going on. Okay, so that heated argument that you had, you will be revisiting that again. Mars is retrograde here, so there'll be more discussions there. And just the other thing to remember about Mars retrograde is even when it's direct, if you push, you get pushed that much back. But when it's going forward, you have a lot of power. But when it's retrograde, that's when the second applies. When you push, you get pushed that much harder. So just be careful about your communication starting the 6th um, with with anything having to do with your career status, um, with family, with friends, and all that. And also on the 6th, Mercury in Sagittarius will square Neptune in Pisces. So discussion again about joint finances or inheritance taxes is not sitting well with something about a friend or a group that here you might be thinking that a group is taking advantage of your goodwill or the discussion about joint finances. Maybe your partner is spending on maybe their parents or about on something else. And again, it's this me versus them thing here. Or it might be you that's spending on a friend or a group and it's not sitting well with your partners. In any case, this is a square, but it is a tense spot, but there's room for discussion here. On the 11th, the lunar nodes enter Pisces and Virgo, and I've discussed that in length. On the 13th, I've asterisked this. The sun in Capricorn will trine Uranus and Taurus. This is lovely because Capricorn, again, you've gone through all that. It's your house of foreigners, higher education, and publishing. Um, and it's sending a very pleasing aspect to Uranus in your sign. So something about your image, your physical appearance, or how you've changed um, is sitting really well with a foreigner or with higher education. Maybe you've achieved something and you're getting rewarded here, um, or publication. Maybe your whatever creative project you've been working on, you might be sealing the deal here. Now, on the same day, we do have a full moon in Cancer. Cancer, again, is your communication, siblings, and your commuting area. So something comes to an end here, or it's the culmination or fruition of your past efforts. Um, or you may be changing the way you communicate. And if we had the Mars in Cancer and you had these heated debates, that is going to end here. Or whatever you've discussed, you see the fruition of your passion in discussing it here. Or again, it can be about your siblings or your cousins. The other thing is just be careful about your communication devices. Maybe you lose a cell, or if you're driving around, just be careful here, because it's a full moon. And then again, two other things: full moons. Uh, a lot of people say they illuminate something. No, full moons hide things. There's something hidden here about your communication and commuting sector. And the second thing is pay attention to this full moon, because when Mars starts going direct in Cancer, again, you start having agreements to disagree or going forward. How the ending of Mars in Cancer will happen, you get a sneak peek of it on this full moon. On the 16th, the Sun in Capricorn will oppose Mars in Cancer retrograde. This is a different kind of energy than the Mars Pluto opposition. The Sun is the good father, the nurturing father. Cancer is the nurturing mother, but very sensitive mother. So, uh, regarding your House of Foreigners and higher education or publication, it is illuminating something here that's very important, which your communication has caused some kind of opposition here. But this will be more of a nurturing aspect where um, both will both might be winners here because of this opposition. Like I've mentioned before, there's some good oppositions and there's challenging oppositions, and this might go down as a good opposition, but just be aware that that does happen on the 16th. On the 18th, Venus in Pisces will conjunct Saturn in Pisces. Powerful here. Saturn loves Venus, almost like a daughter theme for Saturn. Uh, uh, and it is about your friends and groups and circles. And whatever is beautifying here, whatever Venus is attracting here, Saturn is approving. So some of these boundaries might come down when Venus is in Pisces. And that's a good thing. On the 23rd, excuse me, a lot going on, Taurus. On the 23rd, Mars in Cancer will sextile Uranus in Taurus. So your communication, um, uh, your communication will will reveal that whatever has changed in you, you were right to keep the faith. Um, the change that you've made in your communication since the full moon in Cancer, you'll see the benefits of here because it sextiles Uranus in your sign. So something surprising that is said to you or you say that will put you in a good light. Um, Also, Mercury in Capricorn. So discussions with a foreigner or about higher education or publication trines Uranus in your sign. Again, very nice. Um, so whatever communication you've had, that's this new communication style that you were having, showing you in a good light. You continue that with this foreigner, foreign people, or higher education and publishing, and again, it sends really good vibes to Uranus and Taurus. Your image is that much reflected nicely. And then on the 26th of January, Venus in Pisces will sextile Uranus and Taurus. Lovely. Um, Venus, so your friendship zone, um, again, Venus attracts money, riches, and fame. So you might be getting a gift from a friend or a group of or a circle of friends, or something really nice for you and regarding maybe your money. So that is January. Um, and I'm going to go through the other months where I've asterisked what's important to you. So on February 10th, I've already discussed Venus. Um, February 10th, Mercury in Aquarius. So that's your house of reputation, career, status, and authority figures. Like I mentioned, you are on this new journey regarding your career and status. You are wanting um, uh, this new solid career you're going towards. Does square Uranus in your sign. So here, the sun is powerful, as well as Uranus is powerful too, in the sense that it's electrifying. So the sun is revealing that in order for this career and reputation, and in order to schmooze these authority figures, that these changes regarding your image or how you appear needs fine tuning. Okay, and like I said, that fine tuning will come at the end of when Uranus leaves your sign. On the 27th of February, Uranus in Taurus will sextile Mercury in Pisces. Nice. Um, Discussions with a group or friend might give you a heads up about you and your physical appearance, maybe in regards to this career and status thing, but it'll be something of an idea or deal making sort of thing. So between the 10th and the 27th, with this activity between your house of career and status and reputation and your physical appearance, with these friends giving you this advice or bestowing something, a fame or fortune on you, is about an idea to expand, about a deal, and about making it happen. All right. March. So on the 14th, this sun in Pisces will sextile your sign. Very nice. So your friendship and circle, it's illuminating that these changes that is happening to you is nice. It's giving you a nice boost. Um, Nothing really urgent happening there. We jump to April. On the 4th, Uranus in Taurus will sextile Saturn in Pisces, and Uranus in Taurus will sextile Mars in Cancer. Nice. As you can guess, a lot of nice things are happening for you in the first few months with Uranus in your sign. Um, it, Sextiling Saturn in Pisces, and then sextiling Mars in Cancer. So your friends are maybe giving you advice on how to present yourself in forms of communication, or with if you have this issue with a sibling or some kind of a jealousy or a cousin thing, you'll see. And then remember what I said with Mars in Cancer. It'll start going direct in Cancer. It's direct here in Cancer. Then it'll start going direct in Leo, your home and family sector. So whatever happened in December, you'll see the reversal of pretty soon. Okay, so that's April. Nothing really life altering in May, except Saturn enters Aries, and I already discussed that. And then June, on the 4th, we have both Uranus in Taurus, so in your sign. First, it forms a semi-sextile to Venus in Aries. That you might not really feel because it's a semi-sextile, um, but it is your house of secrets and the past. So again, whatever has changed in you, um, it starts idealizing and beautifying something about the past, and your alone time. You're enjoying that. And then Mercury in Gemini, heads up for this one on June 8th, because remember, Uranus will leave your sign and enter Gemini, your money sector. So, this transformation that you're having, Uranus and Taurus, sextiling, we're giving you a clue of how this change in you will gain you money. So, there's this discussion about the future, about your money sector. So, that's good. And now on June 15th, Mars in Leo will square Uranus in your sign. So again, remember, Mars was retrograde in December in your home and family sector. So whatever happened in December, whatever excitement or tension that happened in December, um, now we'll see the reversal of it. And that is not sitting well with you specifically. So maybe somebody is going on back on their word, or you're realizing here that to move forward with a family situation, that that there has to be acceptance by you. And then on the 26th, Uranus in your sign will sextile Mercury in Cancer. So good discussions about or with a sibling or a cousin or a neighbor or about a neighborhood, or maybe you get a new communication device, or maybe a new commuting schedule, maybe a new car. Hey, yay! But that is pretty powerful. Sorry, it keeps cutting off because it's a, like I said, I'm trying a new video editor. So yeah, that could be pretty cool. Okay, July, we have a lot going on, and usually in the summer months, there is a lot of tension in the sky, um, and because we have these major shifts going on. So um, I've discussed Venus, but Venus in Taurus conjuncts Uranus in Taurus on the 4th. This, and it's at that critical 29th degree. So this is what I said about this, either this release, um, ending a relationship, or temporarily splitting, or it can be a coming together like none other, in a surprise or a shocking way. That's all I can really say, because Uranus is the planet of surprise. And we'll be doing detailed monthly, so we'll discuss that more. On the 6th, Venus in Gemini will sextile Saturn in Aries. And this is, again, this is about your money sector. Like I said, it is giving you clues about what will happen when Uranus enters Gemini, because Venus in Gemini will also sextile Neptune in Aries. So there might be this idea, because Aries is the warrior, and with Neptune here, it's beautifying something about the warrior image, the hero complex, and you might have a creative idea, because Taurus are ruled by Venus, so they're very creative. So you might have a lucrative creative idea about this hero worship or warrior thing that might manifest maybe in a creative way. On the 7th, Uranus will depart Taurus and enter Gemini. Now, for some Taurians, like I said, it might be just like, well, nothing really major happened. Or some, like I said, might be a significant event, and you might feel almost lost or maybe nostalgic. Um, you might be like a bump down to earth, sort of, um, and be like, oh, is this all there is to it? There has to be more, and there is more, because Uranus will retrograde back in your sign. Also on the same day, Venus in Gemini will trine Pluto in Aquarius again. This is giving you a clue to this career and status uh, that you will be embarking on, that might coincide with something lucrative regarding your job and your income. Um, because on the 17th, Mercury in Leo will sextile Venus in Gemini. So discussions with family or family members is giving you a clue on how you can make um, you make something lucrative regarding a job and income. We'll be discussing that. On the 23rd, Venus in Gemini will square Mars in Virgo. Let me see where Virgo is for you. It is your 5th house of love and romance. So Venus in Gemini, your money sector, your values, squares Mars in Virgo. Now, for those who are separating and who have children, um, this will be the sore spot. Um, and maybe because something erratic or surprising about your income sector, um, but it's Venus, it's beautifying it. There's room to maneuver with squares. It's not like oppositions, it's not either or. So something about your money, income, and values, and children, romance, or a lover, even pets. All right, on to August. On the 11th, Venus conjoins Jupiter in Cancer. So um, Jupiter has been in Gemini this past year, and you have seen like expansion with money and surprising expansions with money the past year. Um, but now Jupiter will move into Cancer, and that is your 3rd house of communications. So your discussions, or the community, or the neighborhood, or discussions with siblings and cousins, or your social media um, notes there are going to be very it'll be like almost like when you speak, honey will be dripping out of your mouth. You'll be listened to. People will enjoy hearing what you have to say. On the 27th of August, Venus in Leo trines Neptune in Aries, which is retrograde. Um, Also on the same day, Venus in Leo sextiles Uranus in Gemini, and Venus in Leo will oppose Pluto in Aquarius. This day can result in um, something that you may long for or that you might covet, um, or it might be towards you. Um, just be careful here because Venus, yes, is the goddess of love and beauty and money, but Venus can also be a little manipulative. So just be careful here. With all these niceties because it will oppose your house of career status, and the big asterisk is your reputation. Try to keep yourself above reproach, even though this looks really nice. But yeah, just be cautious. So 27th of August. On the 28th of August, Uranus in Gemini will sextile Neptune in Aries. Something about your job, income, and your value system is looking favorably about your image that you've been working on behind the scenes or when you're alone. So that's the 28th. Nothing really major in September, except for on the 6th, Uranus in Gemini will start retrograding. So all this forward movement you've had with your money and income and job, um, maybe you get a new job or a new income stream or whatever, you've expanded, and with everything else that's going on, you're going to start slowing down and revisiting things. Okay. We jump to October. Venus in Virgo will oppose Saturn in Pisces. Virgo is your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, and pets. So something, uh, and then Pisces is your friendship and group circle, and it's retrograde. So uh, something about a romance, maybe, or children and friends. For those Taurans who are making a lover out of a friend, this is the day you get a wake up call about it. For the Virgo parents who are really busy with that, and it will interfere with your visions of the future, or a friendship or a group. Anyway, look on October 11th, and we'll have more scopes in the future. On November 7th, Uranus retrogrades all the way back and enters back into your sign. So again, you will be, remember I said when Uranus leaves your sign, you'll start feeling nostalgic. Well, it enters back in your sign to give you that last one hurrah, that last one push regarding yourself, your image, your online profile, and your money. Taurus rules money natally. So that starts there. On the 20th, Uranus in Taurus will sextile Neptune in Pisces. And this is exact. And it's at that very critical 29th degree. And it's very, very powerful. So a longing or yearning for a past friend or a lover or a romance. Remember when I said be careful of temptation earlier? Um, this might be the day that you go through with it, or this reappearance and this togetherness. And again, it might be for those Taurians who left the relationship, this might be a coming together. Now, on the 21st, the Sun in Scorpio will oppose Uranus in Taurus. So Scorpio is your partnership house, and Uranus is in your sign. So when Uranus is going back in your sign for that one last push hurrah, um, and it's illuminating your partnership house. And again, partnership does not have to be only like a contractual marriage. It can be platonic and it can be business. And this is some kind of a realization or a reveal regarding a past, present, or potential partnership. On the 29th, Venus in Scorpio will oppose Uranus in your sign. So this will be a confirmation regarding a past, present, or potential partnership. And Here is where it is either a reconcilement or a split. So you revisit that partnership, like I said, you would, and you either move forward stronger than ever, almost like your new people, new power couple, or it might be a split. The Taurus takes a long time to make a decision, or until they really feel nurtured and good and secure. Secure is the main word, is the um, optimum word for Taurus. That is what the end of the year signifies. So it can be bittersweet, or it can be very joyous, but in like a reflective, joyous way. Okay, um, that even if it's a split, it you will realize that um, all the events that took you a long time to make this decision was worth it. Okay, um, because in December we have Mars in Sagittarius squaring Saturn and Pisces, so joint finances and friendships, giving you advice on that. And then we have Mercury in Scorpio opposing Uranus in your sign, discussions between partners and about you. Um, you guys are opposing each other. And Mars in your joint finances will square Neptune in Pisces. So, uh, um, a partner might be in opposition to what friends advise you, and the rest of December has more joint finances, discussion, and coming together, but squaring Neptune and Saturn in your friendship and group circle, because your circle could be also your family circle, or a circle of confidence, but it will trine Chiron in Aries. So it will be, like I said, it might be bittersweet, or it might be really joyous where it's cathartic and it's healing. And that ends the year, my dear Taurians. So a lot. And please don't think like, oh my God, this is the worst year ahead horoscope. It is not. Um, there's a reason the planets retrograde over stuff, because there needs to be tying up of situations that have been left, um, just hung, um, reconcilements, solutions, and all that. And there will be a lot going on. I mean, it's not only this. So very exciting, because you have exciting changes to your career and status and your job and income, Aries or a Taurus. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments section. Oh, I also interpret dreams. If you guys have any questions on that, I'd love to answer them. And look for the Pluto and Aquarius videos that I will be uploading as soon as I finish the yearly horoscopes. And if you found this informative or entertaining, please do give it a like. If you're not going to subscribe, I'd love for you to do both. But if you do a like, it really helps my channel. All right, Taurus, take care.